Me again. Hey, I decided, well, we decided, to go ahead and answer a couple more general questions about the Ask a Scientist and Ask a Psychologist programs because they seem to have kind of taken off. And uh, really, these were discussed on Facebook very briefly before we started because we initially started with just recording videos directly onto Facebook. Then we switched to YouTube, and then a lot of people may have missed that conversation. So, the idea behind the series is not necessarily to give you the only answer. In some cases, we come up with the only answer that science recognizes, but basically, it's to give you enough to sort of whet your palate. A lot of times, it's just generally my view or my understanding of it. It's not meant to be the definitive be all end all. In some cases, it's just straight up a informed decision or an informed opinion. Sometimes it's my view as a psychologist or as a science enthusiast. But the key to it is actually the way I've phrased it once was it's less about thinking that you know and more about knowing that you think. The concept is that there are things that slip through the cracks because people are too busy, being inundated with information like, "Hey, Lindsay Lohan's in rehab again," or "Look, Britney Spears is having a rough day," rather than things that are a little bit more earth-shaking, like um, in Berlin last year, they actually did a bone marrow transplant and may have stumbled across something that prevents the continued onset of HIV and may, in the long haul, act as a cure for AIDS. Yeah, that happened. They're currently doing an experimental study in San Francisco about it with some really interesting results. Um, my hope at the end of this is that you're entertained, that it might make you think about science, it might make you think about philosophy, it might make you think about our country, it might make you think about something. And that's pretty much the key. But some decisions were made at that point that may no longer be relevant, and we wanted to know what you thought because these aren't for me. I know what I think, and basically, if I didn't have a webcam, I'd still find someone and be running off at the mouth anyway. Um, a couple of things. One explanation is the reason I do a filter. I just feel a little bit more comfortable with the filter because then I'm obsessing about the information that I'm sharing rather than how I look. Um, in terms of the really low production quality. That's on purpose. I have the ability to do HD. I have the ability to do a fully on edited thing, but I wanted to make it more like a discussion. I wanted to make it so that it was like, just someone talking to you and answering a question for you, really two-dimensional. I don't even edit it. It's a straight run through, and I don't usually have a script. I'll have some points written down. And I think that's a positive. I don't think that's a negative because the idea is to have that personal interaction. You ask me a question, I answer it. And if you dig it, you can Google it or go to some links and find out or even discuss it with other people. And you may come up with a completely different conclusion. And you know what? That's really cool. Um, Couple of important things. We do ask that you subscribe now. I really didn't care about that before. I'm starting to now. Basically, if you go to our channel and subscribe, I'm going to look into putting a link up for that as well eventually. But the idea is just to get the word out about it because more questions mean more answers, and more answers means more information. Um, on that basis, we made the decision not to have the comments enabled for two reasons. One is that I get easily sidetracked. I'm one of those manic type people, and uh, what is entirely possible is I may not be able to go through every comment with the attention that it may or may not deserve. And if I get 50 questions in comments, people may think that's how you ask a scientist a question, and I may not have time to respond to each one. I'd be more than happy to try. The other idea behind not enabling comments was our initial thought was to avoid people posting comments like first or shut up douchebag or just something stupid. And I really didn't want this to be about debates. I wanted it to be about discussions. And if anyone doesn't understand the difference between that, in a debate, you're arguing whether you're right or wrong, or how well you defend your case. In terms of this, it's a discussion. It's me saying things out, and I would like to hear back from people so I can sort of see the value in it. But this isn't about me again. So what we're doing is we're asking anyone who watches these, if you have an idea on it or if you have an opinion on it, let us know. We'd like to see a lot of subscribers. We'd like to see a lot of page views, but it's not about volume necessarily. It's about reaching people to see if we can affect anybody with anything. Um, in terms of the policy that we have on no question is taboo, um, I would be willing to entertain more of I refer to them as literalist questions or questions on religion, um, or philosophy. But again, it gets sort of ticklish, because I don't want this to break down into something where it turns into something where I'm attacked by somebody with beliefs that I think are stupid, and I counterattack and end up offending people that I actually like and respect their views. So it's one of those where I can't really decide anymore. So I'm looking to the people who view and enjoy these to let us know. Um, Couple more things. One being that I use the word we a lot. And I've actually been accused of using the royal word we, or people perceive that when I say we, I mean all scientists. And anyone who knows more than one scientist, no one scientist can ever speak for another because, damn it, we're really serious about our knowledge base. Um, the we that I refer to in the videos actually refers to my immediate family and our very close friends. A lot of times, if there's a video that is not directly on psychology, I will run and talk to my wife, who's a geneticist, and I'll also talk to one of our friends who not only has an MBA but studied theology for quite a while. I also have a very, very close friend who is a massive physics enthusiast, to the point where when I watch videos or documentaries and she's around, she'll sit there and just mumble, the different equations involved, or this or that, and it's kind of awesome. So it's not just my point of view sometimes, but it's my cumulative idea. I also do research a lot of the answers that I do. I'll go out and I'll take a look at them. But the key is I want this to be honest and direct, and I don't want it to just be some old guy throwing out his opinion onto YouTube, because God knows there's enough of that. The problem is I don't want to get into debates, because debates are about I'm right and you're wrong. I want to know what's out there. I seek out information, but I'm trying to do it in a way where I can be honest without being disrespectful. And to be blunt, the problem that I have with answering a lot of creationist videos is that, well, to cut it down to its prime, if you're not going to think while you're forming your question, if you're not thinking for yourself and you're just throwing out things that you've heard, or things that you've heard in church, or things that you believe without scientific reason, then I'm not going to think about your answer that I'm going to give you. And eventually it's going to become a little bit flippant. We saw that a little bit in some of the videos. My main deal is that uh, I'm a huge fan of the First Amendment. Not just the separation of church and state, but your right to choose a spiritual path. I'm a big fan of saying whatever you want. If you think I'm an idiot, say I'm an idiot. But at the same time, I'm going to ask that if you see a video and you think it's good, then go ahead and shoot it around to your friends. I mean, it's something where, the more people who get it, if you like it and you keep it to yourself, then you're being greedy with knowledge, and that goes against what we're trying to do in general. If you see a video and you don't like it, write me. And that's another reason why I'm thinking of editing comments is just to make that of allowing comments is just to make that easier. In terms of requests, one, if you know me and you frequent the same websites that I do, as long as I have an email with your question, whether or not I can use your name, and that I just print them out so I can research them and go over them. And a lot of times, if I need to fine tune the question, I'll contact you back and say, hey, what is it really that you're asking here? And that's really helpful. That's why I need that two-way. It can't just be a comment on the page. But but I digress. If you need to get in contact with us, uh, definitely, if you know me already and we're on a website in common, shoot me an email on there to say, hey, I was thinking about this. In terms of Facebook, if you're watching us on Facebook, that's great. Shoot me a message. You probably already got me friended. If you don't already have me friended on Facebook, um, just jump over to the YouTube channel and either, you can shoot me a personal message, and I'm not offended by that. I usually answer most of them if they need an answer. And if it's about a question, that's huge to me. Um, and I also wanted to thank some people because we got a lot of comments on the college video, and that was not acting. I don't act. I'm not smart enough to act. Um, my mother passed away last year. Well, actually, now it's 2011. It'd be year before last, October 2009, and she was from very humble surroundings, and she wanted me to have every opportunity, and um, she worked very hard, and since I don't plan these things out and I'm not working off of a script, it's something where I just went into an area that was very personal to me, and I'm really passionate about knowledge. I believe it's more important to know than almost anything else. So, um, and on that basis, to address something that has been mentioned, I am one of the owners of Exotic Envy personally, but this runs under a separate auspice. Exotic Envy technically contributes to this project as a separate entity. So when I say that there are sponsor, it's because it's budgeted that way. In terms of people have been asking how they can uh, help make this possible, and really we don't have a set answer to that. And I thought it would be good to ask you, do you want to have a donations page? Would you like us to just continue going on with that? I don't want to charge per question or accept donations per question, because then it's like I'm charging you for information, and that goes against what I believe in. But yeah, let us know. I'm going to enable comments for this one. And, just for the plug, if you're over 18 and you're looking for adult toys, go to exoticenvy.com. Over 1,900 items ranging from, playful little bachelorette toys all the way up to stuff that'll curve your spine and suck paint off your house. It's just weird. So, thanks very much. Really look forward to hearing back and seeing what you guys think, because this is really important. And again, it's not just for Americans. It's not just for anyone. I refuse to participate in a debate, but I'll participate in a discussion with anybody. I'll talk to the devil on a dark night. It's just the way I am. So, thanks in advance for your opinions, and whether or not I agree with them, please know that they're valued. Please. And we're going to go ahead and try to knock out a couple of videos tonight. So, thanks a lot, and try to be good to each other.